Monday Night Football Props Edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is presented by WynnBet. WynnBet is now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. From boosted same-game parlays to live in-game odds, WynnBet has what you need to win. Sign up today, bet $100 and get a $100 free bet at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBet. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET. State restrictions apply. We're also brought to you by the SGPN Mini Helmet Contest. The SGP Mini Helmets are now in the store, and we're giving away one for free. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/helmet to enter. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/helmet.
Cox.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Ooh, welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer? Dog.
Shout out to the number 5, Kayvon Thibodeau, active number 5, playing like a dog. And previous number 5, that's right, Graham Gano, also playing like a dog. Sean, best player on the team. My youngest child says, "Daddy, why do you say the kicker is the best player on the team every time he makes a field goal?" I say, because he is dependable, reliable. Oh, big victory. Got a nice sweat going. Biggest bet I placed on the Giants in some time, Sean.
Nice.
So no way Washington should be laying 4.5, 5, whatever points. And for the Commanders fans who have already found my mentions about the refereeing in the game, I don't want to hear it. It was a divisional game in the National Football League. I'm a proponent of letting them play as a #girl dad. And you should slide into our store.sportsgamblingpodcast.com. I wish I had brought the damn shirt in. Totally spaced on that. But this is the second best thing, Sean. So, all right.
I think there might be one. Oh, I think I probably took it home. I do I do love in the store. We just have it refs are terrorist without the S at the end. Classic our store. Tons of good stuff in there, but just very funny to the name of it. It's spelled correctly on this shirt. And I love how I love also that we offer it in an extra small, just in case you have a child that you want to send to school with a refs are terrorist shirt. Please, someone take a photo of your child in that t-shirt and send it in. You could be getting a merch store gift card.
I've been told we need more concepts that children can wear. Feedback I've gotten from the wife. Like, the kids need to be able to wear your stuff. Figure it out.
What, the coke snorting reindeer isn't family friendly?
She actually didn't seem to have a problem with potentially putting that on one of the children. Felt it was subtle enough. I don't know. What are we going to do? It's 2022. You got to be careful. Bullet can come from any direction.
All right, we're going to get to the recap and give out our Monday night props. Before we do that, shout out to WynnBet, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBet. Bet $100, get a $100 free bet. Of course, state restrictions apply. Spin that parlay wheel, live betting. We're going to be building our own bet, giving you some sweet same game parlays. I think mine's sitting around 35 to 1. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBet. Get involved, bet big, win bigger with WynnBet.
Go ahead, Sean.
Oh, you look like you were going to say something, so I let you speak, Ryan. When you open your mouth on the live stream, it makes me think you're going to say something. I did take a photo of Ryan's eyes before the show. Incredible. All right, we're going to get to the recap?
Yeah, let's do it.
And don't forget the mini helmets. They're in the store. You can buy them, or if you go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/helmet, get in there, and all you got to do is leave a review, send in the screenshot of it, and you're good to go. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/helmet. Get in over there. All right, week 15 recap. First up, 49ers 21, Seahawks 13. This was, I mean, in hindsight, my biggest takeaway was not being all over the Kittle props. That was pretty obvious in hindsight. Geno Smith looks cooked. Ryan, did the Seahawks make the playoffs?
No, I mean, I was watching that guy who likes to roll up his sleeves and touch that TV screen to show us the percentages. He seemed to think that this was not a good scenario for them. So, look,
Seahawks are in trouble.
perhaps what were they calling for in the Giants? Regression. Perhaps there's a lot of regression happening on the bottom half of the NFC, and this Jared Goff. I heard someone talking about this, Sean. Jared Goff is very quickly like floating to the top of the quarterback rank. Like he's not necessarily doing a ton, but he's like people are just sinking past him. It's just like Geno's just like and yeah, so I Seattle, I would say right now, I don't think Seattle makes it, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, they would be a fun team to bet against, I think, in the playoffs. Although I don't know, they're kind of a different team with Ken Walker if he's fully healthy. And I think they just match up really bad with the 49ers. I think a lot of teams will look really bad with the 49ers. We should just jump ahead and get to the Giants. Commanders recap. Giants win 20-12. Chad is all fired up, Ryan. Obviously, you know, I'm a advocate of letting them play. Although I think if you're a Commanders fan, your bigger complaint is that play before where the receiver checked with the guy on the side judge of like, hey, am I offsides or not? Or do I have a good formation here? Like the ref gave him the thumbs up and then immediately threw the flag on.
I don't know if you rewatch that, Sean, you'll notice at the end of it, he's pointing at the ref, but also not looking at the ref. So, yeah, I mean, look, if you really want to get that nitpicky at the end of the day, one team made some plays and one team didn't. And if anything, the Redskins had been pretty fortunate with some of the fumble luck up until that point. That play that was whistled dead, for example, at the end of the game, the Giants were going to pick that up and run it back for a touchdown. Refs blew it dead. You know, let's not complain just because the last bad call was for you. Again, store.sportsgamblingpodcast.com.
What was your takeaway in general? I mean, Heineke, you want to talk about stock plummeting. Heineke, he's just like Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's good for like 5-6 games, and then he just hits that Heineke wall.
Sean, what did I say in the preview? When the Giants have their front four on defense, they've had moments of looking quite good, aka the last Washington football team game, and that it was all about the pass rush. I mean, the defensive touchdown obviously changed the game. And on the other side, once again, I'm sure I do need to watch the film before I have my final evaluation. But Dan Jones, 10-4 ATS on the season. Dan Jones played very well today. I again, give me a little bit more aggression, and Saquon looks like something's very stiff on the inside of his body. I don't know if he's wearing some extra pads. A little worried about his health, but Dan Jones played well. Literal practice squad receivers, running guys who weren't on the team in training camp, weren't on the team week one, out there running meaningful routes. If they lose this game, Sean, you ask me what's the story of this New York Football Giants team. Drops on defense, interceptions, drops on offense. Daniel Bellinger, key third down drop. But once again, Dan Jones gets it done. Dan, I said contract negotiations were starting, and he did his part.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. As an Eagles fan, I'm really hoping they, back the Brinks truck up for old Danny Dimes. I'd love to see a long-term commitment to Dan Jones. That's because if this Giants team, gives Daniel Jones the old Chandler Jones stiff arm that took down Mac Jones. A lot of Jones is involved today. Then I think they're in a much better spot if they can figure out the quarterback position. Easier said than done. You can't just settle for second best. That was pass interference, but the Commanders had their chances. Ron Rivera, someone who had Giants +4. I like some of the things Ron Rivera did, including when you're what was he, down 8 and then kicked the field goal to be down 5? You got to love that.
You got to cut it down to a 1-score game, Sean. I mean, look, it seems like Ron's back in his riverboat. He gave up those analytical ways, back in the riverboat gambling. Come on. I mean, it's a divisional football game. Relax with the penalty calls. Relax.
Yeah. All right. Got that one out of the way. Yeah,
Feel
John
better now?
Dotson. No, it just the chat was all chirping about it. I felt like we should hit on it top of the show. Vikings 39, Colts 36. Historic comeback. Vikings 33-0. I mean, that was just insane. And I saw Chris Long had a take. You blame this loss on Matt Ryan. That's bullshit. Which I agree to some. Which I agree, but also it feels like is this just a random coincidence that Matt Ryan is part of two of the greatest, basically the biggest choke in postseason history and the biggest choke in regular season history. I mean that Frank Reich game was nothing compared to this.
Look, I think he certainly didn't help. But what did I tell you? I didn't watch a ton of this in real time, but when I went back and watched the highlights and watched the extended replay, it seemed like the Colts defense won the game multiple times there at the end. I don't know, man. This is on the coaching staff, right? Isn't this just a master class in how to get out coached?
Jeff Saturday
out
saying he's not the stud quarterback coach we thought he was.
I mean, shout out to Scott Reichel. I think he had a tweet sometime in the third quarter. Kevin O'Connell, fraud. So I mean, to have the worst, to have just this amazing comeback brought upon you by a quote fraud. I heard someone say that they don't know how the Colts can go in and watch film on Monday and everything be okay. Like I just started laughing out loud. Like this was a catastrophic event for the player coaching.
Imagine having to rewatch that. Browns 13, Ravens 3. This was just Deshaun Watson still looked like dog shit. Nick Chubb couldn't run the ball, like I said. And then Baltimore had 5 drives inside the Browns 30. I mean, the only thing is maybe Brownie the Elf, something happened where now he's powerful because, Justin, the cocky kicker, missed 2 kicks. It would have been so much funnier if I hadn't had a decent chunk of change on that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to get dark on the show, but Deshaun maybe got a little too close to the elf. And now it's flipped the luck around. I got to reevaluate my own. I seem to have some sort of Raven bias. I've been noticing it lately. It seems to happen every preseason. Maybe it's Lamar Jackson. I don't know. I apologize for throwing Tyler Huntley and Mark Andrews out there. That was a good idea.
The Tyler Huntley play was bold. I had a decent DFS lineup. I mean, basically, though, that Minnesota Colts game just fucked everything up.
It was the most obvious highest scoring game on the slate, and it turned into that. And it's just, if you didn't have it, I mean, in best ball, if you didn't have Kirk Cousins doubles looked pretty nice there. For a little while.
Well, it's a non-conference dome game, which we got in an argument on the show because I was like, I'm not doing it this time, which in hindsight, I definitely should have done. But I don't even know how, if you won that showdown slate, it was like Kirk Cousins, Jefferson, Colts defense.
Osborne. You had KJ Osborne. That was the key.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I'm pretty ashamed to say it, but it looks like I have a Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, KJ Osborne team that is not going to advance an underdog. I'm just so disappointed.
Bills 32, Dolphins 29. We picked it at 7.5. I had the Fins. # Fins up. This was the 7.5 was good. Was Gucci, as the kids say. Felt like most of the game there. This Tua had his moments. He also kind of looked like shit. Josh Allen did Josh Allen things where he fumbled, but then also nice drive, put the team on his back. It's oh man, I forgot to tell you. My dad, while we were watching the game, he's like, why didn't they, that new stadium, why didn't they put it in a dome? Why don't they just build a dome up there? And I was like, oh man. Then he followed it up in the Eagles post game by calling Ron Jaworski a dumb Pollock. I was laughing really hard. Very funny.
Oh wow! I mean, again, it seemed. I know they had the Josh Allen hero drive in the fourth quarter, but it felt a lot like I'm going to just keep hammering this take, but it feels a lot like they're missing those in-game mental adjustments that were happening thanks to Brian Dable. That's all.
Someone was checking in in the YouTube chat. 757's fine. It says either my TV picture is acting up or Kramer's been hitting the sauce tonight. Those cheeks are rosy red.
It's a little warm in the studio.
Okay.
Threw the heat on, It's dry in here too.
Saints 21, Falcons 18. This was, I mean, I still almost don't regret the Saints -4, even though it's hate week and we need to get a model going for the AFC South because I feel like it's the AFC North with those small dogs always being good. But I mean, New Orleans controlled this whole game and then just Atlanta kind of snuck back in it. I don't know. What did you think of Ritter?
I think they were starting Mariota. I think Arthur Smith's a good coach, and he was starting the right quarterback. And ownership probably was like, "Hey, what about this guy we just drafted? Maybe we can." I don't know. I whatever happened, I think Mariota might have been somewhat correct to be pissed off and leave the team, aka get some surgery or whatever the fuck's going on. Ritter didn't look good. The running game looked good. Algier looked good. I mean, that's a nice takeaway.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. It's shocking the Saints didn't cover this game. Shocking. It's fucking unbelievable, this division. It's disgusting.
Lions 20, Jets 17. I mean, as soon as Mike White was a late scratch there, I should have unlocked it. Was stubborn. Detroit, I mean, kudos to them. This was a tough place to go in and get a win, but also Zach Wilson really sucks. The pick was horrific, and then they let up a punt return for a touchdown. Just two loser franchises going at it. And I mean, nice win for Detroit. I'm annoyed, but to go out and win in Jet Life Stadium against a good defense, kudos to them. I mean, Jared Goff didn't look great, but he hit Brock Wright on that 4th and 1 play and had a couple big throws. So
he won the game, but he did win the game playing against one of the worst. That's one of the worst quarterback performances I've ever seen. Zach Wilson's just not a competent NFL quarterback. He either he's like everything they say about Kyler, like maybe we knew those clauses. It doesn't seem like he's prepared. It doesn't seem like his receivers are even running hard routes. Like Elijah Moore running routes for Zach Wilson in the middle of the field was hilarious. I know he had that one spectacular play, but no effort. And the funny part is the Jets defense in the end is what caused them to lose this game. Just completely giving up there. It's like the Patriots and the Jets both don't want to be in the playoffs.
No, they really don't. Pretty hilarious. KC, the Chiefs, 30, Houston 24, took them to OT. Man, Ryan, we deserve some credit for these Texans because they've been feisty, man. They've been feisty.
That doesn't cash your win total. I don't get any credit for any of these fucking games. It's bullshit. They are feisty. They're the first team in history truly running a 2-quarterback system. Like it's not a Taysom Hill gimmick thing. They're running 2 quarterbacks.
Oh man, there was a play where it was like they snapped it to Davis Mills, who then pitched it. Who faked a handoff and then pitched it to Jeff Driscoll, who's running like a pitch sweep, and it was like he wasn't even supposed to ever throw the Jeff Driscoll. They just like getting Jeff Driscoll in open space. Like what the hell? I mean,
Lovie Smith is at I assume there's a campfire in his office and he's sitting there with a pipe and he's, you know what? They're saying we're not aggressive enough. You know what's aggressive? Playing 2 quarterbacks at the same time.
I really liked their idea of just like, hey, fuck it, we're gonna go for it with the play calling. But then it's like 4th and 1 at midfield and they're still punting. There's
Sean,
some moments.
There's a limit to everything,
I'm still mad at Kurt Warner for his comment last week where he said they were up 3 on 4th and 1 in Dallas, and he's like, they could have taken the field goal. A touchdown is worth more than 6 points. Kurt, they would have lost either way. At least they had a chance to win.
Right. Real quick, Matty Ice in the chat checking in, looking to he's hoping we can make the Sean talks like a millennial, or I guess it's even Gen Z. Sean talks like a Gen
Controversial.
Zer segment. I've seen no one say they hated it. Just that it was hard to hear because they don't speak that dialect.
No cap. Ryan is mad faded right now.
You're acting real sus.
No, dude, you're sus. I'll tell you who's sus is well, the Chiefs are. I mean, dude, they can't put away a good team. That 14.5 was crazy. That was easy money.
You know what this is? This is a market manipulation going on right here. This is them devaluing themselves so we can get some juicy prices on them early in the playoffs, maybe. It does not seem like they're bringing a good place. They're not.
Their defense looks suspect, though. Seriously, no cap or
No
all
cap.
Their defense looks bad. Hey, Eagles 13-1. They take down the Bears 25-20. Kind of an ugly game at times. Hurts had a couple picks. Miles Sanders, rare fumble there, first of the season. I mean, this is, I picked the Eagles, obviously, but not shocked. I mean, I thought they'd dominate the matchups, and they did. AJ Brown had 180 receiving yards. Devonta Smith had 120. Like, Jalen Hurts had a couple, really high-level throws, 3 rushing touchdowns. Jake Elliott shanked a field goal. And then the Bears kind of got a garbage touchdown. So they got the cover. Justin Fields ran the ball pretty well. I'm probably going to lose in my my family's fantasy league because I refused to start Justin Fields. I started Ryan Tannehill at a principal. So we'll see I got Aaron Jones versus Cam Akers tonight, and I'm down 16. So.
And who do you have, Cam Akers or Aaron Jones?
Aaron Jones.
All right, you're all right. Yeah, I mean, my only big takeaway from this game was, almost to a T what I said was going to happen. They were going to win the game and not cover because they're looking ahead to the Dallas game. Looks like Dallas was looking ahead too. The other note I got out of this game was Miles Sanders don't care about y'all ticket or fantasy and never will. With 4 exclamation points, Sean.
Love it.
Might need to reevaluate Miles Sanders.
Oh no, guy's having a great year. And he just didn't have the ball a ton. They did a bunch of read option, and the correct read was QB run. So I would have liked him to get more carries, but it wasn't the carries he got. I thought he ran pretty well, and that fumble, it's gonna happen. Dude fumbles once a year. So I'm with him. I don't care about your fantasy team. I care about the Eagles being 13-1. They just need one win, and they clinch the number 1 seed. If you remember, Ryan, I gave out Eagles to have number 1 seed in the NFC at 50-1.
It's a t-shirt. I don't care about your fantasy team.
Yeah, right. We should put that out. Ironically, as guys who host a fantasy football show, I don't care about your fantasy team. The Sports Gambling Podcast, fantasy podcast. Shout out to Matty Ice 23. Said he was flirting with an Eagles fan today. Had to drop the trivia of the Steagles in the 40s. He got her number. No cap. Nice work, Matty Ice. Of course, the Eagles and the Steelers once played together on the same team. The Steagles back in World War II. True story. All right, getting next game. Steelers 24, Carolina Panthers 16. Oh, man. What happened? I thought Sam Darnold was the truth. He's going to carry them to the playoffs. Didn't happen. Mike Tomlin still alive and well for his – I mean, he might get that him covering the 7.5 still in play, Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you don't have the goal of maintaining your record of being – I guess, yeah, he can still get there. Jesus. All right. Well, I guess they're going to win out. They're going to win out. So he'll be 9-8, obviously.
That's what he does. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like I like Steelers here. Thought they'd be able to... What's up?
I hate what I did. I saw that Steve Wilkes was from Charlotte, and I figured the rest out in my head. And so
Ryan did come to me when we were taping in Vegas. He's like, I got a nugget. You sitting down? Steve Wilkes is from Charlotte. Yeah. I go, yeah, I don't know. It seemed to be playing for him.
I know I locked it up. I won't do it again. Sam Darnold's in my. I can't believe it.
Sam Darnold as a favorite. As a dog, he's intriguing.
I'm out.
Jags 40, Cowboys 34. My brother was live betting this the entire way. Jags money line went nuts when they had that pick six. I mean, Dak is just not that good. He just keeps forcing the ball, turning it over. Lawrence played okay, but he also had some bad looks there towards the end. And kudos to him for bringing it back and tying it up. But I mean, Dallas really shouldn't have even let this game get into overtime, and to lose this game outright is really huge disappointment.
Look, the Dak, I don't think we give him enough credit for having those Josh Allen moments without having the Josh Allen spectacular moments. And boy, this team just finds a way to fuck it up. There is no way they should have lost this game. To your point, Trevor Lawrence had a really good game. Someone tried to get us on Trevor Lawrence in the pregame show for DFS.
That was Moonoff.
4 touchdowns, nice. I mean, I think
Zay Jones would.
I mean, the team that I'm going to advance in underdog is a Trevor triple. So I got some investment in Trevor Lawrence and his receivers moving forward, but Dallas lost this game more than Jacksonville won it.
Oh yeah, 100%. Denver Broncos 24, Arizona Cardinals 15. See, Russ, it's not that hard. You get 20 points, you win the game. The ultimate it's not Russ, it's us game, or it's us, not Russ game. Or no, it's not us, it's Russ game. Denver played really well. Defense played well, got turnovers, knocked Colt McCoy out of the game. Trace McSorley actually had some, he was kind of running all over the place. This was just a kind of as to be expected, an ugly game. And Denver, home field, Arizona, short week, shitty quarterback. This was pretty easy. Lock it up.
I guess I would like to have seen how it would happen if Colt didn't get hurt. But as soon as Trace McSorley went out there, I was like, oh, I can't wait to hear Sean talk about how Trace McSorley looked pretty solid running around for the Arizona Cardinals.
He's
squirrely. Penn State bias is strong with that man.
He's squirrely. I mean, he can chuck the ball really far. Ooh. He's interesting. I mean, if you told me if you had a week to prepare with Trace McSorley and Zach Wilson, I'd take Trace McSorley all day. I'm not even kidding. Because I think if you gave Trace McSorley the opportunity to prepare and learn the plays and learn the offense and, give him first team reps, I'd take him 100% over Zach Wilson.
And fun fact, tying it back to Sam Darnold, he was in that awesome bowl game with Sam Darnold. Penn State. Let's see if you remember.
We're talking about Sam. Yeah, I love Robert Saleh. He's the same guy who went 18 for 18 in a bowl game.
No.
That's what he said. Robert Saleh, yeah.
Okay.
Raiders 30, Patriots 24. I mean, the NFL was insane this weekend. That's why it's the greatest league, greatest sport of all time. It tied 24, and they run a draw to Stevenson. And it looks like he might even be able to take it. Gets slowed up around the 25, pitches it back to Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers runs 10 yards back and then throws it. It was a decent throw as far as how far he threw it, but it looked like he almost intentionally threw it to Chandler Jones. Chandler Jones just stands there, catches it, turns. Mac Jones is already at his legs, just stiff arms the life out of him and runs in for a touchdown. It's insane that the game ended like this, and also insane that the Raiders were the one that benefited from it, because this seems like something that would happen to the Raiders the way they've lost crazy games this season. I mean, Patriots, this is play the baby effing whale, Ryan, because this is just an all-time Pats collapse.
Well, and it did seem like it was going to be that classic Patrick Graham lets the other team do what they want and come back. But I mean, I don't even understand. I jokingly said this was the play Joe Judge called, but what was the plan? Who said what in the huddle? That they were that ended up happening, because by all accounts, isn't he like a team leader? Isn't he some what are you doing? And for you to put your quarterback in a situation to be put on a poster as you lose the game, I mean, talk about it. You know what it was? He's pissed off about getting left out to dry over the middle too much. He's like, you know what, Mac Jones, fuck off. You do something with the I just don't understand what the
game's
plan was.
tied. You do that if you're down points. It's so obvious, but oh man, it's so funny. And shout out to the chat. The guys are dominating right now. D Bettis. Oh wait, yeah, D Bettis briefly changed his name to Laser Focused 420. It looks like it might be back to D Bettis.
Well, I mean, be careful. Although they won't pick up like 6'9", 6'9", meet new girls, they will get at you for some of those.
Oh wait, no, I'm confused. D Bettis. Everyone's changing their names right now in the chat.
We're like
my mind's being blown right now.
We're like old guys, and sorry,
it's a baby fucking wheel, man.
I do wish I do wish we will have to maybe we'll have to see about getting Capper on the show.
Oh yeah,
sometime soon to see. I mean that
just for him to talk about Matt Patricia for a while.
Just think of all the things that were broken today. Just think of all the things in the Northeast of this beautiful country that were just smashed, handcrafted wooden
bowls of chowder going through the window,
cheap TVs. I mean,
I'm taking my lobster cage. I'm burning it.
Fucking Bill Belichick. This is the end. They're gonna start turning on him.
He was so pissed. They go. I love the Patriots media after the game. Why not a Hail Mary on that last play? Matt can't throw it that far. And then they're like, yeah, it was a draw play. We don't know what happened. Oh, man. It's classic. All right. Chargers won 17-14. We both like the Titans +3 push. I mean,
very fortunate
to get the push.
Felt kind of like they were hanging on by a thread. I mean, Tannehill.
Yeah, I mean, Tannehill with that ankle, he's kind of sus to begin with, but then with the ankle, he's mad sus. And yeah, this was just a tough game for the Titans. Although the Titans defense, I thought, played a really good job. I mean, holding them to 14 points and just that latch drive. I was talking smack on Herbert. This was a great play by Herbert and a great drive. This is like, okay, you're not just good at throwing the football, you're also good at being a quarterback. This, to me, was warranted, like the kind of praise that he had been getting previously. So shout out to the Chargers. That was a good win, and you kept waiting for them to fully charge, but they just didn't.
So guess who's back in the playoff hunt, Sean? Jacksonville. Tennessee is slowly sliding away here. We're gonna have some hilarious shit go on in the playoffs this year between this Minnesota team and a team like Jacksonville, New York, Patriots. One of those teams is getting in the playoffs. It's gonna be glorious.
All right, one more game left, and then we're gonna get to the Monday night props. Bengals 34, Bucks 23. They were up 17-0. The Bucks. The close your eyes special was looking fine and dandy, and then I think it was 4 turnovers in a row, 2 Brady picks, a receiver fumble, and then a Brady fumble, all in the third quarter. Insane. And they still almost backdoored it.
Yeah. So this was one of those moments similar to I told the story on the pregame show with the Minnesota game where for a little bit, I wasn't really up to speed. I was left the studio, going back to the house, and holy shit, I get back. This Bucks game's completely different. And once again, I mean, all I could think of, Sean, is that Tom Brady, like whatever. I know we haven't heard much of the curse lately, but holy shit, does he look dead? I went out of my way to Google search horse ambulance. I Googled horse ambulance so I could post a picture of what Tom Brady's up to, which is behind the curtain getting put down because he looks.
Oh, wow, Ryan.
I mean.
Well, it is funny. Like
we're gonna be in the playoffs.
the announcers are still like, like Chris Collinsworth and Mike Tirico. He's like, I don't know, Mike. I mean, you really want to see Brady come playoff time? Yes, please. I do. The guy who blows 17-point leads first time in his career. The guy, you know what he's doing that's different, and it seems it's pretty basic take, but he's turning it over. He never used to turn it over like this. You know what I mean? And now you throw in the turnovers with his like bullshit ADOT. It's just not working at all. And shout out to the guy in the ringer who had Geno Smith, Tom Brady, all like he had Jalen Hurts as the 11th best quarterback in the league. So good, great take there. You're right. You're right. It wasn't Brady's fault.
Is there a newsletter that you like all the enemies of the state? You find out when people.
Oh yeah, we have a list. You don't think we have a list? You don't think we know how to keep a grudge, Ryan? Hey, you know what? I also have a list of places to go if I need a couple extra bucks, like Dave. That's right. Oh man, hanging out. Back home, hanging out in the house I grew up in, thinking about times in high school and college. A couple times where I was, pretty short on cash. Hey, it's the holidays. Times are tough. Maybe you're not getting overtime. Maybe you're not getting whatever it is. You thought you'd get this sweet holiday bonus. We've all seen Christmas Vacation where he thought he was getting that awesome bonus, didn't get it. Maybe that's you. Whatever it is, no shame. We've all been there. Money's a little tight. Dave is here to help. Dave is a banking app that could help you get up to $500 instantly with extra cash. With Dave, there's no interest, late fees, or credit checks. Again, money to buy those last-minute gifts, catch up on the bills with having to wait for your next paycheck, tackle those expenses that have been stressing you out without any hangups. Millions of people have already downloaded the Dave app to get the financial relief they need with extra cash. So if you're in a pinch and you need some extra help, download Dave and think of it as a helping hand from future you. Download the Dave app from the App Store right now or go to dave.com/SGPN so they know we sent you. Dave.com/SGPN. Sign up for an extra cash account and get up to $500 instantly. For terms and conditions, go to dave.com/legal. Instant transfer fees apply. Banking services provided by Evolve Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
That's actually a great idea. We gotta start a weed strain called Tom Brady. Because it destroys you.
Feel like you can accomplish anything, but you can't.
Yeah, TB12. It's a catchy name.
All right, laser focus 420.
I love the chat right now. It's beautiful. YouTube.com/sports gambling podcast. You too can hang out. It's free.
All right, first prop. Give me Ben Skowronek over 2.5 catches. You have to lay some juice here, -140-ish. I mean, clearly this guy seems like Baker's guy. Played 100% of the snaps, 8 targets in the first Baker game, 7 catches. And it wasn't even the game before. He was still in for 97% of the snaps. There's really not, even Atwell, these other guys, they're clearly rotating in and out. Skowronek is like he's kind of the new Cooper Kupp. He's just in there all the time and has a ton of targets. So, yeah, give me Ben Skowronek over 2.5.
How dare you slander my guy, Tutu Atwell. Remember how hard we made fun of the Rams when they drafted this guy?
Yes.
He's finally getting his day. And I disagree. Last couple games, 2 targets, 5 targets, 9 targets with Baker on Thursday night. He showed up randomly. And if this is, someone's got to be a number 2. It doesn't seem to be Van Jefferson. At least it hasn't profiled that way with the targets. Over 31 receiving yards. He can get it in 1 catch, Sean. If he's 9 targets, this is funny money here. So, and by the way, I'm gonna say we, not knowing how you did on your props from the pregame show, but we slayed our props. I went 4-0. I'm sure you did awesome as well.
I'll have to look.
Yeah.
Let me see.
You don't even have to respond to that. You can just be like,
well,
yeah.
I mean, I did give out AJ Brown over 70.5 receiving yards, and he put up 180. So, yeah, I think I'm doing all right. Next prop. Tyler Higbee under 28.5 receiving yards. Packers defense is actually really good against the tight end. Second fewest yards allowed to the tight end this season. Doesn't seem like a big Baker target. Again, 1 game sample size, but only 2 catches for 11 yards. And I think the other tight end, Bryson Hopkins, might get a couple looks here as they kind of figure out the target share stuff. But I just don't think he's going to get enough looks to get over this 28.5.
I like the play. What scared me off of it is that they carry a 25th DVOA against the tight end. Strangely, because it doesn't really match up with the yardage, but it doesn't. It also seemed
Why is that? Because of the is it just they're touchdown heavy?
It's got to be some form of efficiency. Could be scoring related or around the red zone. Yeah, I don't know. I think they're strange. If you go into Rams Reddit, you'll find that there's pretty strong belief that Higbee is in some sort of doghouse as well.
Yeah.
So I don't, for what it's worth. Good play, Sean. All right. Christian Watson over 45.5 receiving yards. We discussed this. Maybe it was last week on a primetime prop show. Ramsey hasn't really been that good. This team has been dreadful against opponents number ones and number two. So I don't, whether you classify him as a 1 or a 2, 31st in DVOA against ones, 28th against twos. So I mean, Watson's been great. So I love him coming off the bye here, over 45.5 receiving yards.
Yeah, I'm going to take it one step further. Christian Watson anytime touchdown plus 140.
Woo!
Again, it's chalky, but 8 touchdowns in the last 4 games. They get him involved in the passing and running game. I think if you're Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers and you're drawing up new stuff over the bye week, you're like, hey, this guy's really awesome. Let's keep getting this guy the ball. So Christian Watson anytime touchdown plus 140.
All right, last one. Do I want to? I wrote down a couple. I'll go with the. Give me an under on AJ Dillon. I'm seeing 58.5 rushing yards. I'm going under. They play the run. The Rams. That's all they can do well is play a little bit of play in the run. I don't think they're going to be able to play the pass. And again, Sean, guess who I went to the playoff simulator, and you know who I saw at the bottom of the NFC playoff odds? Holy shit, our hero. Or our villain, depending on how you look at the story. He's still alive in the postseason.
What are they to make the playoffs?
Let me pull it up. I'll give you the exact number. I mean,
because
they're still there. That's all that matters. Aaron Rodgers said that he would be there until they can't make the playoffs. All right. Green Bay has a 6.2% chance to make the playoffs. They can only be the 6 or the 7 seed, but they're 5-8. They would obviously most likely have to win out, but it starts here. And I think, they certainly, they're not going to take it lightly. This isn't a look ahead spot. This isn't like, oh, they might mess up. So yeah, I don't know. I think they're just, this is going to be Aaron Rodgers through the air. That's the narrative I'd play.
All right. Time for the first touchdowns. What do you got, Ryan?
All right, we're going to go first up. Baker, it's a quarterback's system play. Baker Mayfield's 35-1. Aaron Rodgers is 31. And then we're going to go to undervalued guys who get the looks. Cam Akers, 10-1. I don't get this. The other dudes aren't getting the carries or the red zone looks. So Cam Akers 10-1 seems a little cheap for a starting running back type that is probably, that's their plus matchup as well. And then you have Robert Tonyan 14-1. Sean, you love Bobby Tonyan. I think this is the potential. He's going to throw a couple touchdowns. Let's get one out of Mercedes Lewis's hand. I almost put Mercedes Lewis out there, but he's already scored a couple this year.
You're right. Yeah. Robert, I also have 3 out of the 4 the same. Robert Tonyan, Aaron Rodgers, Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield I really like because he, again, Green Bay, Hurts had 17 carries for 157. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if a desperate Baker Mayfield, I like his anytime touchdown as well. We'll get to that in the build your own bet. I also like it just as a side bet. And then Bryson Hopkins, the Rams tight end. To your point, Ryan, Higbee might be in the doghouse. Hopkins got 1 catch for 6 yards. He basically had the same stat line as Higbee, who had 2 for 11. I think these guys' odds should be way closer to even. The fact that Bryson Hopkins is getting 55-1, they're not tied to Higbee. And if anything, they want to take a look at Hopkins and see what he can do, a young guy. So love Bryson Hopkins at 55-1.
It's a nice pull. It's a deep system play. I appreciate that.
I do like laser focus at Bobby Tunyon. And then Colby is my dad 420 said, people call Robert Bobby sometimes. Thank you for the assist. Colby is my dad 420. Yes, Robert Tunyon. Bobby is what Aaron Rodgers calls him. So
I heart our chat.
For the Wynn Build Your Own Bet, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBet. I'm doing it. Give me Baker Mayfield anytime touchdown and the Packers to win by 13.5, 42-1. Little reverse correlation. Kramer, what do you got?
Oh man. All right. You went for, I figured you were going reverse correlation. What I went with is just a little bit reverse correlation because I'm taking a TD score, Tutu Atwell.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw the way Baker looked at him. And that's the guy. If Baker woke up feeling dangerous, it's not to go hook up with Ben Skowronek. It's to hook up with Tutu Atwell. 3 passing touchdowns for Aaron Rodgers, and the Packers win. I'm going to lay 16.5, Sean. 45-1.
So you got Tutu Atwell and 16. I mean, Packers minus 16.5.
I got a Packers minus 16.5 stacked with Aaron Rodgers 3 touchdowns and a Tutu Atwell bring back at 45-1.
You're a crazy fella, Kramer.
I mean, they say these bets are negative EV. That's what they say.
Yeah, they don't know about Austin Hooper and breaking the bank. Hey, get in on the mini helmet, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/helmet, completely free to enter. Again, the contest is very easy. You're just going to leave a review, take a screenshot, and then or screenshot of you submitting the review, and then submit it. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/helmet, and you're good to go. Win one of those mini helmets. They're also available in the store. Got a big week of pods. Got college basketball on the way. More bowl picks. More Colby getting angry at the opt-outs of the bowl games. Tons of fun. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBet. Bet $100. Get a $100 free bet. State restrictions apply. For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green, and he is Ryan.
Colby's only covering college football at this point because we're making him.
Kramer, let it ride.